Yes, back by popular demand. Well, popular demand? Demand of myself, anyway, I don't know. Yes, hello, welcome back to Commodore Corner, which returns to your screens once again, where I plough through some random Commodore 64 games. For your amusement, for those of you who watch it anyway. If you've not seen this before, it's exactly what it is. I pick some games, I play them at random, and yeah, we just see how we get on. Now, I thought, actually, because it's been quite some time since I've done this, that perhaps the best way to do it is just do things slightly differently compared to how they were before. So, rather than talk, show a bit of footage, talk, show a bit of footage, talk, we'll just actually get on with the actual process that's involved. So, there we go. Let's try and find the right way to do this. So we've already got the old Commodore 64 set up, and we'll do it now. If you've never seen Commodore Corner before, everything is done using the original hardware and software. Okay, so there's no emulation or anything like that on here. It is simply done using the old technology. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then we draw a line and we move on. And we haven't had too many games like that over the episodes that I've done in the past, although I must be honest with you, since I reset everything back up again, it's not gone particularly well. So the first game we're going to play is Swiv, which you can see there, SWIV. I'll show you the box, etc. in a minute. So it's not always gone according to plan. But that's because of the technology we use. So, you know, and on previous episodes I've had two tape decks set up, so if one didn't work I'd try it in the other one. Chances of it didn't work in one, it will work in the other. We're just using the one tape deck this time because I haven't quite got the space at the moment to set two up. And that's it, we just load it up as it's meant to go, and then we'll see exactly what happens. Now, if you're new to 8-bit gaming, and let's be honest with you, quite a lot of people, unless you were brought up with this sort of thing, will have absolutely no interest in it. But this is the way it goes. You know, you load a game from tape. It may work, it may not work. You sort of plough on through that. There are easier ways of doing this. We'll let that load for a minute. There are easier ways of doing this. You could buy the C64 Mini, for example, and put an SD card in there and load games that way. It's quicker, it's more straightforward, it's simple. The C64 Mini isn't overly expensive. Whereas if you want an original Commodore 64 and all the setup, then that's going to cost you quite a bit more. On the other side of things, you could also you could buy something called a if you've got a Commodore 64 already, and you could buy something called Kung Fu Flash, which is a cartridge which sticks in the back of your Commodore 64, because at the back of the C64 there's a slot for a cartridge, and then you could also load games in that way. Now, Mrs. Bear has Kung Fu Flash Cart 4. There we go, loading screen, lovely. She has one for testing purposes, so we could do that. You might actually hear a bit of music as well. There we go, so you can just see that. So yeah, we'll talk a bit more about this, but yeah, there are ways and means of doing it. You haven't got to do it to the anal extent that I do it. And I always say about these sort of things, you may not have played these games before, you may not have even heard of half these games we're going to talk about today, but more importantly, you might actually have an interest and be prepared to give it a go. You can do, you can give it a go, and things are that you can even emulate this stuff as well. I mean, don't forget, these games, in terms of memory size, you know, compared to things you can do on your phone or even on your watch, or I don't know, yeah, even going back to the very first digital cameras, they were far more capable in terms of producing a picture far bigger than any of these games were in terms of memory. So that's what it is. So what we got here, we've already started loading this game up, and again, depending on what game it is, you may find that this is actually a halfway stage, because we have loading screens, we have things like multi-loads. If we say multi-load, for example, then there's going to be it will load in each level, and then you have to spend a lot of time rewinding and fast forwarding tapes, which is really annoying. That's why perhaps SD cards, flash cartridges are the sort of way to go on this. If you like me, you like doing it the old fashioned way, you'll do it. So we'll just press the fire button on that one. So that took 45 to load on the counter, and that's off again. Again, another preconception is these games take 30 minutes to load each. They don't take 30 minutes to load each. I find the best way to do it in some cases, start loading again, go make a cup of tea, come back, it's nearly done. If it works. So we'll carry on letting Swiv load. Now we are using original technology. You can see we've got the old zip stick handy here. And what we're going to play today for the first game anyway, because I've got a little stack of games here, which we'll have a go through. We may probably get through all of those. I wouldn't have thought it was quite a lot there, and I don't want to sort of sit here for 3 hours doing this, because I will sit here for 3 hours doing this. I have a reputation. So we're playing Swiv. Now you'll notice this is on a sort of a little case. This was a full price release originally. This is the budget re-release. We know it's budget because it's on the Kixx label. Kixx was the US Gold affiliated budget label. And again, I could go into great lengths about this, but maybe not today. Maybe another time. Let's try and do it. This is a vertical shooter. So again, horizontal shooters were all the rage back then, but vertical shooters very much a good thing to have as well. Now this is a sequel to a game called Silkworm, which was a military-based shooter. So if you played anything like, say, UN Squadron, not quite the same sort of game, but very similar to that, where you had an option of playing in a helicopter or a jeep. Which is great two-player fun, because you had one in the sky, one in the ground, and then you just scroll across and take out all the enemies. You can do exactly the same in this as well, one on the ground, one in the air. And it's a lot of fun. This game came out on all the 8-bit systems. I believe it came out on the 16-bit systems as well. And you can quote me on one. You can quote me on the fact it came out on the Super Nintendo. I know that. I'm not sure if it came out on the Mega Drive. I'm pretty sure it did. It's got some very meaty sound effects on some of the more advanced systems. Right, has that worked? It has. Right. So I'm just trying to see. There we go. Okay, so I'll just close that now. So this is... You wouldn't... Yeah, I've just realised what I've done now. So you wouldn't have heard the loading music because I was on the wrong screen. I have to remember how this works. It's been so long since I've done it. So, yeah. So this is it. So this has taken 71 on the counter to load, and then you have the problem. This is it, you see. So now I have to stop the tape, and then turn the tape over, and then rewind side B, and then what it will do, it will then load in the rest at the start of the game. So in terms of actually loading to that point, it's quite quick. But obviously you've then got to rewind and start searching for the one to press play on that, and then it will start loading that in. Yeah, so this is going to be a multi-load system. So there we go. Just try to remember what we're doing with that. Yeah, this is complicated. I'm trying to work out how this is set up. So what this will do now, this will load in the game. Should I die at any point, I will have to rewind the tape and start again. It's what you have to do. What you don't want to get too... If you're a bad games player, it's not so bad, but if you're a really good game player and you get really deep into a game, then you have to rewind everything all the way back to start. Don't forget, these games are coming from a time where multiple spawnings, and spawn was something you used to find in ponds that belonged to frogs back in my day. Occasionally it's one-hit deaths. Here, because I played this previously, you'll have a number of lives you have before it's game over. It's a harsher way of playing games, but I always say, probably compared to modern gamers have had to adapt to how games are now. They're used to having all this time going on, whereas to me, you're used to having sort of 3-hit deaths. So when you come back, having played modern games with continual infinitive lives, you'll suddenly realise you load a game up, you play for approximately 30 seconds, and then the game's over, and it's already started, which is no good. I need to switch over. Right, here we go. Let's push that back, and about right. Okay, we'll put this down as a trial run, shall we? Technical errors, right? We'll just try and get this one finished off. I should have realised, having played this the other day, that it was going to be quite kick. Now, we did play a game probably about 12 months ago called Fireshark, which was on the Mega Drive, which some of you may have heard of. Some of you may have even seen the videos at the time. That was a lot of fun. And this sort of reminds me a little bit about that. And this is sort of like the mid-level boss, and he's killed me. There we go. Right, so... Right, we can start properly now. Because it was only the first level, we're there now. And my joystick has a... Oh, flipping heck. Those green ones, those green tanks really do annoy me. My joystick does have an auto-fire facility, but it's a bit hit and miss. So, I'm not entirely sure it's going to work. So I'm just holding the fire button down at the moment. I've got the hang of this a bit better, but... Oh! Yeah, so it's a commentator's curse. But actually, I don't. I think this is a seriously fun little game. This. I didn't play it when it came out. I've sort of played this off emulation. Oh, eyes on the prize, Mr. Bear. Eyes on the prize. I would likely get to the same place I got last time, which is here. And die. If you want to see how I'm getting on in terms of scores and lives, that's in the top right hand corner. So, yeah. Not going particularly well so far, is it? Let's try again. Yes, I didn't play this, but I having played Fireshark, I then sort of discovered, I'm pretty sure what I was saying earlier about Swift being on the Mega Drive, I'm pretty sure that was one I played off emulation, and it had such a pulsating sound effects, like digitised explosions. It was awesome to listen to. I'm going to avoid that if I can. Sometimes it's best not to get into a fight I know I'm not going to win. Now, one of my great traits of playing games like this is to try and hang back to the bottom of the screen. Now, I know that isn't probably the way that you should play these sorts of games. You need to move around and whatever. I tend to adopt the same policy when I'm playing first-person shooters. I just tend to stand and get shot a lot. Any of you who've actually seen any of my first-person shooters or heard about any of my exploits as a first-person shooter experience will know exactly what I'm talking about. Mrs. Bear will know. She'll be watching this and she'll know. Yes, she just comes upstairs and sees me. Oh, will you clear off? At the moment, I'm getting my rear end backside kicked by this thing here, whatever this thing is. Ah, there we go. I'm running out of swear words I can use on the scoreboard. Dear me. Let's just type in exactly what that is. The good news is I've not got much further ever So I haven't played this earlier on the week. This is not again. This is about as far as I ever get. Although to be fair, I did actually manage to knock that boss off once. You know, if you've never seen me play games before, you'll know that a lot of the gameplay videos I do on this channel tend to be literally the early part of the games that I show footage of being played. It's never any of the later levels, purely because I never really get to the later levels. It would be nice if I could get that shield. Thank you. Did I get the shield? I can't tell. Yes, I did get the shield. I'm going to get hit by everything now in the meantime before I get to that boss. No, there we go. I've now died. And again. I have 3 helicopters left. Where's that? It's happened again. 2 helicopters. 2 helicopters. 2 helicopters. Ah, that was quick, wasn't it? Sod off with that. Yes! Ooh! We've now got triple shot. Lovely. Oh, that makes things so much easier, doesn't it? Look at that. Don't even have to see it on screen. It's dead before it gets there. This is much more like it. If you can hear the clicking in the background, don't worry, that's not my knees or my joints or anything, that's actually the zip stick going around. I'm not sure what you really hear from this anyway, but I think I now have this set up so you can actually hear me. And oh yeah, that's just fly into the stuff. Oh! That's been much better, but yeah. Okay, we'll give this one more go. Actually, I should play the Jeep, shouldn't I? But that means changing the, reaching over and changing the port. Because that's the other confusing aspect here. Because some of these games will actually, you have 2 joystick ports on the Commodore 64, just for those who don't know. And one of them is controller 1, one is controller 2, and you're never quite sure which one's going to work when you get to the actual game. So I'm guessing probably the other port would actually have you control the Jeep. Wonder if we just try that actually. So we'll have another quick. Well, yeah, we'll just finish this go and then we'll see how the rest of that goes. And then we'll try it with the Jeep, shall we? When in Rome. But one thing I do love about games like this, and I've said this previously when we played them, is what you want is a game where you're getting a little bit further each time playing it, because it keeps you coming back. You think, well, actually that's not so bad, is it really? I'm just going to move him out of the way because that's caught me out a few times in the past. You can bugger off with that, mate. Told you already. There we go. Ooh. I appear to have sort of slightly changed the helicopter as well. My helicopter's changed. So I was doing. I was going to say I got 5 lives and now I got 4. Those swirly things really are annoying. Right, now I've got the shield. I don't think you can kill those. Oh, we're entering new... Oh, we're entering new territory. Great. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, I'm getting a little bit further each time I do it now. And what I'm just going to do here, which may result in a disaster, is just change the joystick port. And just see if that lets me play as the Jeep. Yes, it does, so we're now playing as the Jeep. And you notice the Jeep has actually got another fire button. I'd say the Jeep is going to be much better. What happened there? But it doesn't really make any difference whether you know whether the stuff's in the sky or on the ground. I'm just wondering, I can't drive through buildings on that, can I? Am I trying to drive through buildings there? I'm far too concerned about what I'm trying to kill. Okay, that one shot me, fair enough. That shot me. I don't like the Jeep. Yeah, yeah, that's difficult. Wow. Okay, so if I drive into any of the walls of the buildings, it's going to kill me. I know something. Yeah, that's not what happens in real life. You drive into something that kills you. Yes, it does. I wouldn't expect that on here. I'm probably going to have to go over there rather than drive through the ditch. There we go. So that would explain it. Yeah, so it's not actually a... oh, good grief. Oh, there we go. Another crash. Yeah, that's tricky. Yeah, if you want a real challenge playing this one, play it as the Jeep. But the Jeep does seem to have better initial fire. Better initial firepower. There we go. Right, so there we go. That's Swiv on the Commodore 64. We shall take that out. Turn that off. There we go. How fun was that, eh? Like I said, I think there's real scope in a game like that to actually, shall we say, enjoy yourself and have a bit of fun with that. But that's a really good game to play. That I'm quite happy with that one. Right, what should we play next? Yeah, let's play this. I'm not very good at this, but we'll play it anyway. We said we were going to get this little pile out and have a go. Good news is I've already rewound it. So let's reinstate that screen. You can see what I'm doing there. So yeah, you have to press shift and run stop, and then press the play on the tape, and then the game loads. So yeah, have you ever played Swiv? Have you ever heard of Swiv? Let me know what you think. Like I said, it came out on pretty much most of the 8 and 16-bit consoles. It came out on the 8 16-bit micros and the 16-bit consoles. It didn't make it. I don't think it did make it to the NES. It didn't make it to the Master System. I know that. But yeah, definitely worth tracking down. Yeah, now the program it's found is called. You can see there, Fluffy Things. Now, what we're actually going to be playing now is Creatures. You'll notice the theme here. We're playing all Kixx games. Now, Creatures actually is a game by I forget the name. Thalamus, isn't it, or Thalmus, or whoever they were anyway. And it was quite a late C64 game in the initial run, and as a result, they were able to do things a bit more. So this game actually looks pretty damn good in terms of graphics, sound, etc. Because towards the end of the C64 life, and you can see now with the homebrew scene. Yeah, I'm going to have to explain all this in more detail another time, aren't I? For those of you who don't know, if anybody's actually interested in knowing anything about that. they can actually take the C64 now to limits they couldn't do before, where people now can enjoy making games for the sake of making games, whereas back in the day you were working to tight deadlines, as we all do, don't we? We all work to tight deadlines in life. There we go. Thalamus, yes, Thalamus. I can never get it right. It's like Infogrames. And he for years been calling it Infogames. It's not Infogrames or Infogrammas. I don't know. Yes, so this is a platform game. So you can see 1990, quite late in its release. Very well regarded. Very well regarded. Now going back to the Kixx label, which we're saying there, Kixx. Major software houses then decided that actually a lot of money could be made from re-releasing games that have come out previously. So all the games I'm going to be playing in this video are games that originally came out at full price. You could buy these for, for Spectrum it was $7.99, tape, Amiga, Commodore 64 and Amstrad $9.99. If you buy the disc versions, it was like $14.99 if there was a disc version available. Otherwise, it was tape. And they decided that they found out that actually good money could be made by re-releasing the old titles for a couple of quid, so like $2.99, $3.99, something like that. So they all created their own in-house budget labels. Elite had Encore, Ocean had the Hit Squad, which most people would know, and US Gold had Kixx. And it wasn't necessarily strictly staying to those particular, so US Gold just didn't release US Gold titles. We can see here where we already paid one. That was by, I think it was Core Design, or whoever they were before they were Core Design, and we know this one is Thalamus. In fact, I think of the games I've got listed here, so I think maybe 3 of them, maybe 4 of them are actually US Gold games. I've got 1, 2, I've got 3. I've got 8 here, and half of them are not US Gold games, but they're on a US Gold label. Same with Ocean. The game by Barbarian, Palace Software's version of Barbarian, that came out on Kixx as a budget release, but also appeared on some Ocean compilations. I know because I've got them. So it's not necessarily whether you just pay for user license and do it there. And these games became incredibly popular, and over time become incredibly collectible. Now, there we go. Oh, look, we got to rewind side B and press play. I love these. Now, of course, if you were doing this on emulation, it would just do it all for you. Take seconds. But because this gives me license to sit here and talk to you, or talk at you, this is the way it is. Oh, come on, this might take some time. We'll come back to this and we'll keep talking about budget labels. And they can become very collectible. The Hit Squad label had very uniform spines, and as collectors, we love stuff like that. So Kixx actually has sort of different branded ones, for example. So the 2 games we got here, as you can see there, I'll turn them that way around. Excuse me while I press play. There we go. So these are black label. Slightly different, and you also notice down the side as well. Well, I don't think they are exactly the same, but they're a different colour compared to, and I'll show you one here because I mentioned it earlier, which is that one there. You can see that one there. I'll try and hide the game. That one there is slightly different, and there are things. I think there's another variant to the Kixx one, so they're all. We like stuff which looks the same, so that's it. So we're playing another blue label version, and that might be it for today. We'll leave the rest for another day or something like that. But yeah, no, it's good like that. They just become instantly collectible. The Hit Squads are renowned, well, they were renowned for fetching high prices. They appear to be on the slide quite a bit, which is a touch worrying. So I've got quite a few of them. But yeah, we like stuff like that. But yeah, good money. So you could release a title for full price, and then a couple of years later, or within 12 months or 18 months or whatever, you stick it on a budget label, you sell it again, and it sells bucket loads. Affordable gaming, which was fantastic back in the day, because you had the option. You could fork out a tenner for a big name title, or you could pay a couple of quid for something you can get at the newsagent. Remember newsagents? Yeah, they sell newspapers. Do you remember newspapers? Yeah, and there wasn't really a budget scene on the 16-bit micros, the Amiga, Commodore Amiga, and the Atari ST. And then eventually they started getting $4.99 titles out, and then they released Hit Squad games on the Amiga. I know because I picked up a couple, and I think they were priced at $7.99 because Amiga and ST games are usually about 20 quid. Because you think, well, you know, especially back in those days when you're a 14, 15-year-old and you need to buy 20 quid to get a game, it's a bit tricky. So that was one market that was missing. It was catered to. Now, in terms of these, they're not missing anything. What you're not getting is a big box. And I have a big box to show you, if you pardon the expression. So you're not getting, you're not getting something like that. You know, you might buy that. That's Pipe Mania on the Commodore 64, funnily enough. I didn't realise that was there. But you could buy that, and you can probably guarantee within 12 months the budget version would be out for a fraction of the price. And sort of take a look at this one. This is the Amstrad, so we can show you that one off. We'll be playing that one. That's actually a double pack, Pit Fighter and Super Space Invaders. But both those games were likely to have come out separately in a box that size. And again, they would have got re-released on budget within a number of days. So there you go. The bigger the box, the bigger it was, but there was no difference. There was no difference in the game. There was no sort of cutbacks. You didn't get a cut down version of it, etc. You got the same version that was released at full price. So there we go. Right, we have. I shall dispose of that. There we go. And this is Creatures. A jaunty old tune there going. This is 1990. And I must remember I've now got to move. Actually, this is the thing. I'm now going to move the joystick back into port 2. I should have 2 joysticks, shouldn't I? Set up, shouldn't I? So, Lily Lakes leading to the Caves of Slime. Collect the following creatures for magic potions. I have absolutely no idea what that means. So this is your character. I believe he's called Clyde. And have the facility to shoot things. I love the fact, if you look at the score there in the middle of the bottom. I scored a grand total of 2 points for killing that thing there, and another 2 points for that one. Okay. Oh, I can't go that way now. Just find a way of knocking him off. Ah! I have no idea what's going on now. I appear to be dead. Right, okay. I'm just trying to see how far I've got to get on there. Okay, yeah. So I've been playing this previously. I'm just going to work out whereabouts I get to. Let's see if we can get past stage 1.1. It's like gaming for imbeciles, isn't it? It really is. I mean, joking apart, I will say this. Your reaction times as you get to, I'm not going to make any bones, but I'm 50 years old very soon. Now, there we go. That's one way to get rid of him. I'm 50 years old. I mean, I'd like to say I wasn't great at these games in the old days, which I wasn't. I'm even less good at them now. Hopefully this guy will go away in a minute. Or we could be here all day doing this. Do it take to kill him? He's evidently not going to die, is he? Yes, oh, eventually, thank you. It's the hardest 200 points I've ever earned doing that. And who's this bloke here? That'll make him jump around a bit. But yeah, I've been a 50-year-old man. Your action times are not what they were when you were a young person, and you can't just walk up that. So when you get to there, you can't actually walk up it. You have to jump up it. And I'm guessing I've got to get up there somehow. Oh, it's a precision jumping game. And there's another one of them. I get more points at 3 points for doing that one. Bombard him from a distance, right. I'm guessing I've got to go up there for a read. Oh, that's one of the potion things, isn't it? There's some sort of owl. An owl! Shoot the owl! Right, owl is shot. No. Okay, I'm guessing I had to kill them at some point anyway. You can't go under there. I'm not going to get up there and deal with that. Oh, I hate these precision. I really do hate these precision jumping games. Right, let's take these guys out from up here. You know when people actually tell you, oh, this is one of the best games on the system, you've got to play this game, it's really, really good. He's dead, right. I'm now going to find a way of getting up there. Hopefully these two don't take too long to kill. That's fine. Okay. There he goes, he's dead. Ah! I've got to get, that's the next part of the potion I need. There we go. Now I've fallen down there. That's another one. There we go. I'm not sure what the potion does. I haven't quite worked that out yet. Oh god, I know what this is going to be. Going to stand on the lily pad. And it'll move. Oh no, you move it. Ah, look. Oh, he's got a little fan, look. Hee. I love that. And that actually goes slow. You go against the tide, the flow of the water. Isn't that clever? Wow, well done, Thalamus. Oh, yeah. If you kill that budgie, pick that up. Now I've got to somehow. Ah, okay. Cool, right. Jump onto there. Precision jumping again. God, it's annoying. Oh, I do hate games like this. Yeah, they have great games on a Commodore 64. You must buy this game. It's player skate's one of the best ever. And then you actually play it. It's frustrating as anything. I've now got to get up there and then down there. Okay. Kill the owl. It looks like an owl. I know it's probably not an owl, but it looks like an owl. Kill him. There's actually a timer on this. I don't realise. It's been very generous to give me 500. Whatever they are, seconds, minutes? Not minutes. Come back here. Why do you keep going a different colour? Alright. Oh, not him again. Now how are we going to take care of that bloke? His magic balloon. He took about 765 shots last time. Let's just sit here. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, my first real impression of playing this game for a period of time is it's a bit fiddly. I'm going to jump all the way up there, whatever that is. Hooray. It is, oh, cool. It is a touch on the fiddly side. Well, that's no good. So how am I meant to do that? You can't actually shoot while you're on the lily pad. Oh, well that's impossible. Am I going to jump over him? Well, how does that work then? I'm guessing I'll get a continue. Okay, I do get a continue. That's good. Well, that's interesting because that respawns you at the same point, which is great. Now, I wonder what there is to do about this potion business, because then I shall have a look at the instructions. And I have absolutely no idea. Doesn't say anything about that. When the weapon tablet appeared. When the weapon tablet appears, joystick left, right, view all of the weaponry. I have no idea what you're on about. Okay. Now, I should have mentioned as well, I can actually just come off the dry land for a second. If I actually hold the fire button down, he charges himself up and then you can actually release a little bit of flame. But there's no duck. There's not enough room to jump. How am I to get past that? And it actually kills me stone dead, one touch hit. And there's no other way around. So it's one of those cases where we ask for answers on a postcard. It's a different colour now as well. So why is he a different colour? Pressing the fire button doesn't do anything. I can't get close. If I jump off that, I'm going to die. Fire does nothing. I can't touch it. He doesn't go all the way to the edge, does he? There's not enough room for me to sort of like, if he swung out to the end of the waterfall, I could sort of time it. I can't actually get from there. And now I can't go back. So I've got to go this way somehow. How do we get out of here? Oh, no, he's touched me. That should be there. I have another go. But I can't go anywhere else. I see nothing resembling a shop or anything like that. I was actually beginning to enjoy this game until now, and I hate games like this. We get to a certain point and it's not blindingly obvious what you need to do next. This is not good. No. Oh, did I fire then? Oh, you cretin, Mr. Bear. I think I just realised what I was meant to be doing. If I jump up, if I jumped up, I could have fired and probably killed the game. I could have killed that. Ah, well. There we go, Creatures on the Commodore 64. A game I'm utterly useless at, like everything else. Oh dear. But yeah, not bad, that one. I don't know, I said I was beginning to enjoy it, then I got stuck, and then I actually now realise perhaps what I should have been doing. Yes. But that's it. And again, you know, so far, I'm I'm happy to go back and play those. And one of the great joys of this, you actually find games that you want to actually play. You might just collect that load of crap and not end up playing it. But this is sort of stuff I want to keep going with. So we'll go with one very last game for today, because I've been doing this for far too long. I don't know how long I've been going on. I've been here for days. I really have absolutely no idea. Right, let's turn that off and turn that back on again, which you can't see at the moment. Oh, it's already rewound. There we go. Yep, so let's... there we go. Right, lovely. Press play on tape. Now, the good thing is I've tested all these beforehand, so I know they're going to work. But I tell you what we might do in future. We might not test any of them. We'll just pick stuff out of the cupboard and go with it. And the reason I'm picking these Kixx ones is because they're at the front of the cupboard. Everything else is sort of behind it all. I can't get to my hit squads, I can't get to my dual cases, I can't get to my compilation, so I'm struggling anyway. So now we've got Flimbo's Quest, which is for a US Gold budget label, which we've done today, is not actually a US Gold game at all. Typical fashion. Anyway, yes, brilliantly planned. Right, let's go back to the big screens. You don't want to see that bit. So what we got here is Flimbo's Quest. I actually got a copy of this last year on the Amstrad from my very good friend Gordon at Gib84 Gaming. And this is the Commodore 64 version, obviously, because the Amstrad version wouldn't work in here. And this was a platformer from, I think it was System 3. And because it's a platform, I had no interest in this back in the day. Can you see that? Because there we go. I got no interest in it back in the day, so I was like, not really my sort of thing. Yes, so I played it for the first time the other day, and I quite enjoyed playing it. I should also let you know the great thing about these manuals and things. If I could just find a manual from this other box down here. Presuming if I could find one with a manual in it. There we go. Right, so if I show you Pipe Mania again. You might not know, well, these are called manuals. Right, you used to get these back in the day. Old people like me talk about lament the fact that you don't get things like this, which are instructions and details. Now, that's fairly legible, isn't it? You know, I mean, my eyes are crap as it is, but I can actually look and read that from that distance. There, I can, I don't need to go like that. I can hold it there and I can see it nicely without sort of squinting or hurting my eyes. Lovely, right? Okay. Let us now look at the inlay for a Kixx game. You see that there? Yeah. Because obviously you've got a smaller box and a smaller cover, the writing obviously has to compensate for that. And now I am really sort of struggling because I just cannot read that. I do need my eyes tested. I need my eyes tested during COVID. I said that 5 years ago. I need to do it. See, I got my birthday card. Look, I got my 50th birthday card. I guess new glasses for my 50th birthday. That'd be quite good. But yeah, so that's what you're dealing with half the time. You're trying to read these piddly, tiny instructions. And some of them are even smaller than that, believe me. That's not the smallest. Flimbo's Quest is not to be able to legibly read the instructions on a Commodore 64 game. Not at all. Let's see. Right, so let's just flip that down. There we go. So there you can see. So as you can see at the top there, it's actually telling you the loading time. Loading time 1 minute 35 seconds. So, these games aren't actually, shall we say, slow. So there we go. Insert side B. That's the third time I'm going to do this today. But I'll show you again in a second just what you're up against. When you're playing games like this. Probably a good job I've got Pipe Mania here as an example, because that's a really short loader. A really short one. Right, so I've done that. Rewind, press play, reset the counter, press play. Right, that's fine. We'll let that go. Let's come back here. Right, so you have to excuse it because the glue's dying on this one. But load. So you can see, if you haven't seen the tape before, you can just see there. So you got this like, let's try and do it. You got this red strip here. That's the front of the tape. You can see that there. It's on the inside, and then you got the rest of the tape there. So you can see from that that is a seriously short loader. The reason it's a seriously short loader is because it's a very basic graphical game. There's not a lot of data to be loaded into that. Okay, there's quite a lot. Now, let's show you the two games we played so far, and you'll get an idea of perhaps what I'm getting at in terms of a load. So this is Swiv, and can you see there? Where are we? So we've got this bit here. So that's the actual tape it's got to load in. There's quite a bit on that one. I've seen smaller. I've seen a lot smaller. Now creatures. We didn't help these tapes are white, but you might be able to see there. Can you just see there the size of that compared to what we've already, so what we loaded in was most of the first side. So it didn't load the entire tape in. It loaded some of the first side in, and we rewound it, and then that loaded the first level in. That's still got to load in. That's the rest of the game there. See how much that is? That's quite a lot. And I had to get ingenious, and to be honest with you, it's seriously confusing, because now when I try and load a game on compilation, sometimes you'd have one game take up the entire side of a tape, and then other games that they had in that compilation would fit on one side, so you'd actually fit two games on one side of a tape. So when you loaded the first one, you had to make sure that, because sometimes this stops, the tape recorder will stop automatically, and then you leave it with the play button down, so it'll load the next stage in when you get to go that far. But some games, when you're loading in, for example, you've got one game here on the first part of the tape, but you want to play the second game, you'd have to load the first one in, and then load the second game, and then restart the process for the second game. And sometimes the tape didn't stop. You had to stop it bang on, because if you didn't start from the right place, it wouldn't load anything in. That's complicated, I know, but again, one of these things which probably needs explaining, which I haven't got time to do now. Flimbo is loaded, right. So I'm going to disappear. And there we go. And you've got some lovely parallax scrolling. How lovely is that? That's something you don't see every day. Now, you see it quite a lot back in the day, but definitely not. Right, now, I have absolutely no idea what you're meant to do in this game, but if I press up, you go into a shop. Now, you can see where this Oriental, I think he's Oriental gentleman, is sitting. To his right, so his left, our right, sorry, is a green box. And apparently you've got to go and collect letters or something, and then fill that up. And then you move on to the next stage of it. You've also got a timer in the bottom right hand box, so 1752, 3 lives. I have no idea what the other stuff is, but I don't think it's important at the moment. And you can see flashing in the box there is some sort of image of some sort of alien type thing, and I think what you've got to do is find one of those, shoot it. That shows I'm not showing, concentrating on what I'm doing. Find one of those, shoot it, and then you pick up an item, and then you take it back to the shop, and you keep dropping things like that off. And I think they flash if you found the right one. See there, he's dropped something, which I think is actually currency, because you've also got like a money target there. I think I was playing this tonight just basically through the process of elimination, trying to work out what I was doing. It's fairly simple controls on this one. Foot down, fire. Look, there's some health there. I missed it. He's just going to turn around a bit. I mean, you can jump up the ladders, but I mean, there's nothing to jump up the ladders for. There's nothing there. Nothing there either. Ah, there's a hole. And that's the end of the screen, so I'm going to go back all this way. And you get little bonus rooms like this, so you can pick up some coinage. Another interesting one about it is up is to jump, but if you go down, down is actually to jump down. That's a really good function, because one criticism get levied at these games all the time is just how unfriendly the control systems were. Oh, there. Now he's dropped some sort of manuscript type thing. Now, I know, having been in the shop and checked the icons, there was like a manuscript type thing. So go back into here. Aha! A letter thanks Flimbo. So I've given him the letter S. All of a sudden it's turned into a very, very weird version of Sesame Street. Another secret room there, so some more coinage to pick up. I mean, it's a very pretty looking game. I mean, again, this is fairly late in the old C64 lifestyle, I think, this one. There's a flashing... What do you call that up there? And he's dropped like a manuscript or something. More coinage. So we're going to take that back to the shop. I think you can jump, the old Mario bounce on the enemy's head will do. A letter found, thanks Flimbo. E. So I'm now going to find, if you look in the middle of the screen at the bottom, there's a blue sort of shell flashing, or something flashing. I have to find that and it will drop the final. I'm thinking that is the last thing I need to get. I could do with getting hold of that, but no, okay. Ah, thanks, letter found. And there we go, SEI, level complete. How weird. I've no idea what's going on. This is all through me playing it actually, was it a couple of nights ago, and just sort of working it all out for myself. But yeah, so it's now loading the next level in. Right, here we go, so the next level. So, there's a rope bridge to walk across there. Again, lovely scrolling on this game. Really do. I'm going to find the shop. It wasn't over here, was it? Didn't start the shop. Where'd they all come from? No, that was just a door, wasn't it? Okay. I'll take some more money while we're at it. And what you'll notice down there as well is there's some gaps at the bottom of the screen. Which, if you're not sure what you're doing, like I wasn't the other night, you'll actually realise that you can fall to your death by doing that. Find out where it's called a shop, isn't it, or something like that. Oh, heart, lovely. And more coinage. So I've actually come completely the wrong way, because it looks like the old dude is in the shop down the other end of the level, so I'm going to walk all the way back down there. It's going to get a bit hairy there. Okay. Oh. Okay. That's the shot. Right, okay. Okay. So I'm now going to find a... so I did have a manuscript. Where's the manuscript gone? So I found a letter which is L. It really is like a version of... What the heck? What earth's that? He's a big bugger, isn't he? I'm guessing having found that, I can drop that in from another letter, can't I? Another letter found. D. So I need to get that blue one below. The heart. No. I've got to find a blue thingy. Which is flashing. Remember, the item has to flash in order for me to be allowed to pick it up. Now bear in mind, I haven't been over this side at all. I might just be wasting my time. Oh, I'm dead. I've got one where am I now? Okay, I've got one shot at this now. And it's a game over. Bah! But you can perhaps see what how that sort of works. So... yeah, so perhaps I see that works. It's one of these where you're going to sort of pick things up and move around. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that. Again, years ago I wouldn't have touched that now with a voice box, but it's a very well regarded game. I thought, well, I'll give it a go, see how we play it. First time I played it, well actually that's the second time I played it, and I actually got further the second time than the first time. So there you go. So that's not too bad, is it? There we go. So Commodore Corner. Yes, we're done. We're done for this episode. I've got more games here, but honestly, I'd be doing a 3-hour video, which is really unfair on anybody, me especially. But but you guys, I think you deserve medals for sitting through anything which goes longer than 10 minutes. Honestly, I know the average attention span of people, and people watching stuff on YouTube is about 5 minutes. So whether you've made it through to the end, congratulations. I do appreciate it. We will have more games next time, and there's going to be more games because, like I said, this is now set up. I've still got the facility to do other stuff. I'm still trying to work the Wii stuff out. Thanks to everybody, by the way, who got in contact with me after that last video. I said I bought that HDMI adapter for the Wii, which didn't work properly, and then pointed out, well, why don't you use the Wii U? And I thought, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? Because I've got a Wii U. Is that straight? There we go. Bit of an angle all the way through the video. Yeah. So thank you for everybody pointing out, if you've got a Wii U, you can actually play Wii in HD through the Wii U, which is, I've already got that, so I should have done that originally. But no, thank you for everybody pointing that out, and my own stupidity. So we might see some Wii, because I'd like to get through that pile behind me. It'd be nice to do those. Probably not the same style as this video. Anyway, I've got more Kixx to get through. I've got hundreds of these to get through. Possibly before I die, so we'll get there one day eventually. Let me know what you think of those 3 games, any recommendations you have for Commodore Corner to play. Yeah, let me know. I'll see if I've got it. If I've got it, I'll play it. If I haven't got it, obviously I won't play it. I'm not going to find it especially. You can send it to me if you want, but I'm particularly interested in that. But thanks so much, Steve, for watching. I will see you again very soon. Until then, this is the Retro Bear in the Gaming Pantry. Yeah, we'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.